Hey Tyers, Darren here with another fly tying tutorial. Today we're going to be tying a McFly Foam egg, or a GloBug as it's commonly called. It's a pretty simple pattern, but surprisingly enough, there are several ways to tie this. The method I'm going to show you today uses 2 clumps of foam, and in my opinion, it gives a nice representation of the egg and helps to maintain its shape when it's in the water. I do find that some of the other methods out there tend to lose the egg shape, so that's why I'm showing you this way. Anyways, it's a great fly for trout, salmon, and steelhead during the late summer, fall, and winter. Let's have a look at the material list and get started tying this fly. Get a fresh hook in the vise. I'm using an egg hook. This is a number 8 that I'm using today. I usually tie these in sizes anywhere like 6 to 12. And I'm going to use a Danville flat wax nylon, and this either a hot red or a hot orange color. These make a nice base for the fly, and if they show through the foam, it just kind of looks like a blood spot. Alright, so I put a base of thread on there, and I'm just going to leave my thread in the middle. I'm just going to go through you, show you how I prepare my McFly foam. So what I do is I take it out of the package. And when you unravel your McFly foam, you can kind of see how you've got these different strands. So what I want to do is just pull one of those strands apart off the clump. They don't come away 100% clean, but you can get a noodle of it. So then I want to double that up. And I'm going to match the two ends together. I'm just going to pull that, stretch it out a little bit. So for each egg I do, I use 2 of these clumps. So what I do is I'll take it between my thumb and forefinger, and then I'm just going to cut off a small section. So I'm going to do that before I start tying. I'll get 2 ready. Now I'm also going to find a piece of either dark orange or bright red McFly foam, and I'm just going to take a couple strands off one of these. And I'm just going to place that in between 2. I'm going to set that aside. So we'll start by taking our clump without the orange or the red on it. And I just like to kind of roll so that I kind of get it dense in the middle. Then I'm going to take 3 kind of light wraps, and then I'm going to pull down fairly hard, and I'm going to push that to the bottom of the hook and pull it tight. Add a couple wraps. Now I'm going to take my top color with the red in it. I'm going to place the red right at the top. This is a little bit tricky, kind of have to pull everything away from the middle here. But after you've done a couple, it gets fairly easy, and McFly foam is nice to work with. So a couple wraps, and then we're going to pull hard. Another reason to have the flat waxed nylon, you can put a little bit more pressure on it. So now I'm just going to pull up the top, and I'm going to sit my thread from the middle into the front, and then I can pull back everything Make a little bit of a thread dam there. Just add a few wraps. I'm going to add a whip finish. And I'll cut that off. So now we need to trim this up a little bit. So we want to do this in two parts. So you want to make sure that the bottom section and the top section are separated. So I just kind of like wiggle this all into my fingers, and you'll get a feel for this height, but probably about there is good. And I always find this a little bit trickier, but I want to basically go down most of the hook gate. And you can see already that's a nice egg shape even before doing anything. You can kind of see on this one I messed it up a touch. It's a little bit fatter on the bottom than it is on the top. Alright, no worries. Still going to work great. I'm going to add a little bit of head cement. It's actually hard as nails. And I'm going to push everything forward. I'm going to add a little bit on the back there as well. What I find is when you start fishing this, it tends to square up a little bit unless you tack it down on the back and the front a little bit. So I'll let that dry for a few minutes and I'll probably go fish it later this afternoon. There you go, that's just a simple Bloodspot, McFly Foam, GloBug, foam egg, whatever you want to call it. Works wonderful for salmon, steelhead, and trout in the fall. Thanks for stopping by my fly tying channel and watching my tutorials. If you're new here and like this sort of thing, why not hit that subscribe button? I'd love to hear from you, so if you have anything to say, leave it in the comments below. Until next time, this is Darren saying, keep a hook in your vise. Cheers.